Welcome in to a Friday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered here by Go Chevrolet, here closing out the week on the Jordy Culotta Show. And what has been an exciting week here at FM Digital Media. The Carpool Queen is here, Stewie is here, Bree is here, Jameel is here. Crawfish boil over at the crib today.
Woo!
Looking forward to it, celebrating the end of the week, and Jack going back up to New York City. Hopefully, if you're starting your day with us, we appreciate that. Hit the like button, share button, comment button, as we'll be here with you until 9 a.m. We're eating Foodie Friday. Compliments of Iverstein's Butcher Shop coming up at 8:30 this morning, closing out hour 2. As the crew will be here, the cooking couple will be in, as usual, on a Friday, telling us what we're eating from over at Iverstein's. Nathan Velasquez is back after last Friday working. He is back with us, and there's a lot of news, actually, around Hollywood right now. We were talking a little bit about Top Gun Maverick yesterday coming back out. We'll talk about that. But then the sad news, the sudden news of Ray Liotta passing away.
What happened? Did you find out?
It says he just passed away in his sleep, and that there was determined that there was no foul play. I don't know.
How old was he?
Probably a heart attack.
I think 67.
I mean, what in the world? That's so sad.
Very sad.
Weird.
One of the great actors
Yes.
of our generation, and obviously known for some highlighted roles like Goodfellas, and he was in some of the
Field of
Sopranos.
Dreams.
Field of Dreams.
That's crazy.
But
That's so long ago.
sad story to wake up to or hear yesterday that Ray Liotta passed away as he died in his sleep down in the Dominican Republic as he was shooting a movie. He was shooting a movie named Dangerous Waters, that was going to be on Amazon Prime. And
he has a fiance.
Yeah.
Bummer.
It is, man. It is a bummer.
I mean, I guess that was a weird choice, I guess.
But it's
Bummer.
Yeah, but it sucks, man. Ray Liotta, hit the like button, share button. Henry Hill, of course, the character that he's probably most known for on Goodfellas. Every time you seem to turn the TV on and Goodfellas is on, I always stop.
I bet you do.
I mean, always stop.
Italian classic.
I bet you do. Is that another one that you know all the words
it's
to?
It's the classics. It is the classics of Italian classics.
Up there with the Godfather trilogy.
I would actually put it ahead of the Godfather.
Yeah.
Jordy,
I've
okay.
never seen the Godfather trilogy, but I have seen Goodfellas.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, you need to see the Godfather trilogy.
I understand the Godfather's fame and like why it's so celebrated. In fact, I'm watching a series right now on the CBS. What's it called? The CBS streaming service, whatever that is. Not Prime. Paramount.
I didn't know that was CBS.
And it is. It's called The Offer, and it's
about the Godfather movies.
It's a series.
I saw that
about how the Godfather movie came to be made in Hollywood.
I want to watch
and
that.
Like
is it good?
How crazy it, like just the story to get that film just to set.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that, like Marlon Brando, how they got him in it. The obviously Coppola and all. I mean, just like there's so many stories about Al Pacino and how like the head of the studio hated Pacino. I mean, it was the story. This series, I hadn't finished it yet. I'm just about caught up to speed on it, and it is a phenomenal just story
check that out.
of Hollywood and how that movie was made. But sad news of Ray Liotta passing away in Hollywood. And we'll talk to Nathan Velasquez about that as he'll be back with us here on this Friday. Make sure you hit that like button, share button, comment button. As we say, we're brought to you by Go Chevrolet, online at GEAUX.Chevrolet.com. Go Chevrolet with a couple of locations, one down in LaPlace for brand new cars, and of course on Sherwood Forest and Florida Boulevard for used cars at Go Express Auto Sales. Stop in and see our friends over at Go True Blue Water, TRU BlueWater.com to get on the delivery route today. And our phone line is brought to you, as always, by Metropolitan Health Group. Real doctors, real solutions. Jason Ramazan and Charlie Harvey. As always, you can find them online at metropolitanhealthgroup.com. All right, LSU baseball last night. Anybody stay up and watch all 9 innings?
I didn't stay up to watch all of them, but I watched a
Really?
lot of it.
Yes,
You
I'm
stay-
feeling it this morning because I'm so tired. But
Yeah.
Ugh,
but
God.
it was a great game.
Good on you, man.
It
LSU
was good.
stayed up and won 11-6. I don't know how you manage the day. You know what I mean? I guess you're
know.
like 18 to 22 years old, so I mean you're like a piece of
Yeah,
rubber. You know what I mean?
remember-
You're
They
nothing.
stay up till
Think
2
back.
o'clock in the morning
Yeah,
in Tigerland. I think
Think
they're
back,
fine.
Jordy.
Oh God! I mean, 10 o'clock baseball game. It feels like noon,
Yeah.
right?
It's easy.
But LSU took care of Kentucky last night. Josh Pearson, the story.
Coach, I don't think that ball he hit last night landed yet.
I mean, he
It
turns
didn't.
on it.
Like, it just went in the trees.
True
Like,
freshman Josh Pearson from up in West Monroe, 5 for 5 last night, leading LSU. As Stewie mentioned, he hit a home run into the forest. I mean, kind of lost it in the night, man.
He sent that up to Tennessee.
Speaking of Tennessee, Coach V and the crew
That's the matchup.
taking on LSU this afternoon.
my
Did you see Jay
gosh.
Johnson's comment about the SEC tournament? You could tell he was a little taken back at the atmosphere and just how much passion there is for baseball in this part of the country. Johnson last night said to the SEC network, it was an unbelievable environment tonight. I'm really thankful for our fans for coming, and I thought it provided us with a lot of energy. I don't think there's a venue that could be better prepared prepare you for what's coming in the postseason. The SEC tournament is great, a great event. So you see the first-year head coach getting his eyes opened a little bit to just the passion. And I think he's probably seen that in traveling from stadium to stadium each weekend and being at the box and coaching LSU. You feel all that stuff, right? But to put all of the conference's baseball teams in one city, in one stadium, and see everybody's fans coming together and see how much love there is for the sport. Somebody like Johnson, who is probably trying to he's been spent his career trying to get to the mountaintop of just the epitome of the sport, the major stage of the sport, and coaching LSU obviously comes with a ton of cachet behind the name and the title of being LSU's head baseball coach. But I think, that ride, he had gotten used to it up to this point, and then seeing the entire conference collected together, you could tell that he was really, hey man, I'm in the right place. And I think that people, judging Jay Johnson after year one, the more people you talk to, the more people that you get the feeling that they are sincerely secure on who is leading LSU. It feels like he is the right guy at the right time, and even still young and hungry in his career. That's really kind of what I took away from that soundbite. I saw I saw a replay of it on YouTube this morning, going back and watching some of the highlights, and they showed some of the post game stuff on the network, and you could just tell that Jay Johnson is. I mean, he's young, energetic, enthusiastic about where he is, and still extremely hungry in the climb to get to, the ultimate spot. And his team, I think, is playing right at the right time. And I know that is a sports term, and it's, it's cliche, and, you hear people talking about that. You want to be playing right at the right time. Well, I mean, yeah, no doubt. But, I mean, in baseball, I think that there really is a built-in strategy to trying to get your team to peak at this time of the year. And I think that there is a technique to it from a coaching standpoint, and obviously the longer you do it, the more you can realize. But, I mean, LSU's gone through a ton of adversity, and things can throw this thing off track, like, injuries and health and, whatever goes on in that department. But if you can keep your team fairly healthy, you want them playing their most consistent at this time of the year. And it seems like the criticism of LSU really the entire season has been their inconsistency, right? Where one weekend they look like, man, this is a team that you bet on to make a run, and then the next weekend they kick it around and they get swept by Ole Miss. But I know that the Ole Miss sweep is not that far in the rearview mirror, but it feels like it's like a decade ago from how they're playing now.
It's weird.
Right? I mean, like the Vanderbilt series last week, even last night's win, they're playing with a certain confidence to them. And I think more than anything, that's That's what you want to see out of your baseball team because, the law of averages and numbers say that you're gonna be bad more than you're good in baseball, but the way you approach it mentally and the way you handle it, under the hat is really kind of establishes who you are, and it feels like LSU is playing with a ton of confidence right now.
Old Nick did not handle it as well last night.
No, he did not.
But it was great. I love watching that.
So you're talking about the Kentucky baseball coach who absolutely melted.
He did.
And I felt like full disclosure, I did not watch the game. I watched an inning or two, and I woke up, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning. And the SEC Network was replaying, some gymnastics meet from last season. And I went back and watched some of the highlights this morning on YouTube, and when I saw the play and the call, I thought immediately that Cruz was out.
Yeah,
just immediately, and the guy called him safe, and the catcher's looking back at the dugout and telling him to challenge, and they go to the challenge, and they come back and say after looking at the call, he's still safe, and I related to that coach. Because it felt like he was out. Now, going by the road play, his hand did kind of wipe across the plate.
Mm-hmm.
Like a millisecond right before all the action started. So
there are a few different angles to look at it.
Right, no doubt.
It was interesting.
But he had one of those melts where he obviously just said "F it."
Yeah, he didn't care.
It was like I'm getting tossed out of this. If I don't get tossed out of this game, it'll be a miracle.
Tossed.
Welcome back. Sean Seaman, Mike Miniville, pay me my money. I'm not canceling the rest of the show. Give me my money. Mail it in. FM Digital Media. Lloyd is screwing us up from Vegas. He's trying to get himself a raise. He's
trying to get his job back.
Stoned somewhere on the Strip. Lost in downtown Vegas, old Vegas. One-legged hooker.
Midget.
Drugs are running low.
I don't think you can say midget.
Got no cash. What is
Of all the things we say.
Am I supposed to say, what am I supposed to say?
What
Little
is the
people.
correct term?
Little
Is it
people.
people?
Sorry, little
Yeah.
people.
I'm kidding because of all the things we say
Oh,
on here.
okay. I see.
I mean,
thought you were
honestly,
saying-
it is not
It is
PC,
offensive?
but yes.
For real?
I think some little people it is.
Well, whenever
right?
Fred's had dwarf wrestling, that's just what they call
Amazing.
it. Or they called it midget wrestling.
I think dwarf is PC though, right?
Watch out, you might get canceled.
Yeah.
I mean, we could get canceled, but
Let's not get canceled.
I think dwarf is PC. I think that's a term.
I don't know. Fred's marketed it as midget wrestling.
That's right, they did.
They
And
did.
it was iconic.
They did.
It was awesome.
So y'all
How
were
long ago was
dead
that?
wrong. Jordy was very, very calm.
Very calm.
During
Very
this
calm.
whole.
Very
I mean,
calm.
we were just sitting here chatting.
Yeah.
I have learned that you cannot fight technology.
No, you can't.
You lose every time.
You can't.
You really do. And the madder you get at technology, the more that it fucks with you. Mm-hmm. So I just take deep breaths, and I'm looking to collect semen, Menville.
You're looking to collect semen?
My cash from both of them. Whoa, that was weird. Yeah, that was weird.
That's what you said.
Make a drop out of that one. Good show last night. Opening show for Rohan Davey. Where my dog's at. I think the conversation between him and Kevin Falk is a lot of what you can expect from that show. That was nobody can really get that out of Falk, right? Like nobody can put Falk in that headspace, or at least make him as comfortable as he was last night in that setting, to open him up and talk about everything, right? From the New England Patriots to high school football to his time at LSU as a player and as a coach. So I thought that it was really a cool conversation, sit down, and a great opening show to Where My Dog's At, to give you an idea of just the type of conversation to expect and what you're coming to what you're coming to expect from that show week in, week out.
And he'll have his own set soon, which
Yep.
is going to be amazing. So it'll be a different viewpoint for everybody.
Yes, he will have his own set. He's got a great team. Jamil's on his social media. Stewie was producing last night. When Lloyd gets back, he'll be in the production seat as well. So hopefully, and we had to stream it from this channel, from the Jordy Culotta Show channel, because there was a couple of things that we needed to hit as far as YouTube was concerned before we could stream on Rose's channel. It should be all good to go next Thursday night, so make sure you're subscribing. I know that Katie is receiving a lot of emails from people that are subscribing, looking for their picture.
I still don't have 100, so keep coming.
Put out a promotion yesterday for the first 100 to subscribe to Where My Dog's At YouTube channel, and the easiest way to get there is by going to the Instagram page of Where My Dog's At. Just type in Where My Dog's At on Instagram. Once you get there, there's a link tree that pops up, and you can follow on YouTube, you can follow on Twitter, and obviously you'll be on Instagram. So make sure you just follow all the social media platforms to keep up with that show. There's already I have seen the guest list that is building on Rose's show, and I'm telling you, within this month, you're going to hear from Cecil Collins, you're going to hear from Josh Reed. You're going to hear from some of the old coaches that Rose played for. You're going to hear from some of those Miami stars from the early 2000s that Rohan grew up with.
What
to
about
talk
TB12?
about possibly. I mean, if you
my
get Kevin,
God.
I know Kevin Falk last night on the way out of the studio when he was leaving last night. We were all in here, and he said and asked if it was cool if he just came and he just come and hung out on set for the show. And I'm like, Kev, we'll build you a statue, bro. But yeah, absolutely, you can come anywhere you want in here and hang out. I mean, so he's going to be back. I'd imagine that he'll be back just kind of hanging around that set. So I mean, you may have an opportunity to hear from Cecil Collins, Kevin Falk, and Rohan Davey on the same show
Regularly.
So I think that the possibilities for Rose Show, for Where My Dog's At, is absolutely endless. And to think about what this show will be when football season gets here is scary to think about. I think it's going to be a monster. We're going to do some things like 6-on-6, where Rose's going to pick 6 plays of the week and break them down, really show off his football knowledge. He'll talk about the quarterback, a lot. He's a quarterback coach, and he can talk recruiting as good as anybody. I don't think that people realize how up to date and knowledgeable he is on like this modern recruiting classes because of the 7-on-7 stuff that he is doing in the off season. So really looking forward to what that show is and what it's going to turn into at Where My Dog's At. Got a great team, and it'll be there for you every Thursday, 6 to 8 o'clock. Mic'd Up and Mikey Matuk, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Their Friday show usually originates from Uncle Earl's from 4:30 to 6. Off this Friday, Mikey's out of town doing some travel. He'll be back with you next Friday for his regularly scheduled program. So make sure, and if you were planning on being out at Uncle Earl's today, just set the alert for next Friday as he'll be back with you live.
And if y'all, when you subscribe to Rohan's show, send me an email at katie@jordyculotta.com for your signed photo. And I'll get it to you somehow, probably mail.
Yep, and it is a signed picture of Roe with the New England Patriots that we'll mail out to the first 100 subscribers to his YouTube channel. And make sure you're telling people about that. Tell a friend about it. Get people over there and help us build those numbers for Roe. As we said last night, check out his conversation with Kevin Falk, and you'll be getting a lot of that on a regular. So hopefully we can dodge the technical difficulties and get until 9 a.m. this morning. Nathan Velasquez, as we said, will be here at 8:30, and the Foodie Friday segment will be brought to you by Iverstein's before we get out of here at 9 a.m. Really looking forward to that. As we said, LSU beat up on Kentucky last night, and that now sets up number 1 Tennessee, which will be tonight at approximately 8 o'clock. Tennessee has felt like the best team in college baseball all season long. Obviously, Tony V, their head coach, so much swag.
So much swag. Man, we were wanting him last season.
We were calling for Lane Kiffin and Tony V to be the head coaches. We got Brian Kelly and Jay Johnson. It's all good. Nobody's complaining, but it is a little it is a different personality and mindset when you're talking about Kiffin and Vitello. So
two people they were not on our list.
No, Tennessee plays a different style of brand of baseball than LSU. LSU kind of slows the game down, kind of messes with your head. Vitello and Tennessee are steadily in your face, steady barking, top step of the dugout the entire game. They're swinging for the fences. They're loud.
They got a dude that throws 105.
They got a dude that throws 105. I mean, they're just, as far as stacking these two teams up next to each other, Tennessee feels like the better team. But when you look at the way that LSU is playing now and getting production from guys like Josh Pearson to go alongside guys like Cruz, and hopefully you can get Doty back. What's the status on Doty?
I really don't know.
Right.
That might be
not a baseball show.
Yeah, it might be a brief question.
Tennessee's going to win the College World Series.
What's that?
Tennessee's going to win the College World Series.
It's a lot of pressure, bro.
I don't know.
A lot of pressure to go bell to bell.
Look, Matuk's the guy that we go to for our baseball talk, and Matuk and Jay Mitch both said that Tennessee is not built to win a national championship.
Okay.
Because they haven't faced any failure this season besides that Kentucky series.
Yeah.
And once you get to the postseason, it's
I'm kind of with you, man.
I'm calling it.
It's tough to go bell to bell.
Yeah.
I mean, it is tough to go bell to bell in college baseball just because of all the adversity. Now, this team feels like they got it all. Like they can pitch, they can defend, they can hit, they got good coaching. If they do, it'll be a hell of a story. But, I kind of agree with the sense of at some point in a baseball season, you're going to face adversity. Like, you're going to have to bounce back. And maybe that's the only time they had to do it during that Kentucky series. But LSU and Tennessee tonight, great measuring stick for LSU on how consistent and how confident you are by going up against the number 1 team tonight in Tennessee. I think it'll be a great test for Jay Johnson just to kind of give an idea of where he is going into the postseason. And as we said, Johnson's comments last night after the game really kind of give you a sense of his excitement to this time of the year and where LSU is, or getting the opportunity to test themselves against this conference going into regional, super regional, and postseason play. So it'll be it'll be. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. Tennessee's traveled well to Hoover. LSU had their usual contingency over there. There's a lot of LSU fans in that part of.
There really are.
Yeah,
they're out there cooking.
There's a
and
lot
hanging
of
out.
there's a lot of LSU fans in Birmingham.
Yeah, there are.
People don't realize that because that's the heart of Alabama country. But when you go to Birmingham,
there are a lot of SEC fans, like tons of people from Ole Miss and State moved there. It's
kind of like a mini melting pot.
It is.
Lots of I would say that
schools.
Nashville is, the biggest of the SEC melting pots. Atlanta is a huge SEC melting pot.
Houston.
Charlotte is a city that is growing. I didn't know that Charlotte was so corporate. Like it's like a headquarter for a lot of banks.
Really?
I was sitting with a guy in Nashville, and we were actually talking about this, just kind of like the city, the diversity, and he was talking about you see and meet a lot of young college grads from all over, whether it be like NC State, Wake Forest, even like schools like that over in that part of the country that we don't think about. But a lot of the SEC schools, obviously Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, LSU.
Yeah.
All, kind of come to Nashville to either start their career or make a move on their career to that city. And he was telling me one of the bigger cities that is like making a jump in that, like getting young, progressive people that are moving in was Charlotte because of like it's a banking hub.
Yeah,
and
that's interesting.
A lot of like national banks or maybe even international banks are headquartered in Charlotte. So you have a lot of young professionals.
Yeah.
In that city.
Yeah.
And it's kind of taking on a Nashville feel. One thing that I did feel about Nashville while you were there was that there is just so many people. Like
There are.
It feels almost like L.A.
Yeah.
In the sense of
People want to be there now.
well, I mean, it is, and it's a good crowd. You know what I mean? By all means, but I mean, there is just a ton of people in that city, and it didn't. The last time I went, before Kelly and I went on Easter weekend this past year, was like a decade ago, probably like even more than that, and I just didn't. I never put it as a big city,
Right, I
Like
know, you don't.
I never thought of it. As a big city, but after I left the second time, I mean, it is. I wonder why they don't have an NBA team
Yeah.
in Nashville. Like, really, I mean, like with the support that they have a huge like hockey crowd there.
They do.
They have obviously the Tennessee Titans that I don't even know why we're talking about this. But
Well, we were talking about Birmingham having a
Yeah,
big
that's
SEC
right, that's right,
presence and people being in Hoover, LSU fans being in Hoover. And
Yeah.
then we went on from there.
but it's going to be a great
Good
atmosphere.
story.
tonight.
Love Nashville, but Hoover's going to be
I don't
great.
know why I'm talking about
Guy
the
went from
banking
Hoover
community in
to
Charlotte.
to Charlotte.
While we're still on baseball, is Mike Bianco in trouble?
I think so.
I think he is too.
I think he is. I really do. I think that.
Ole Miss lost out.
They just haven't. I mean, every season is the same for them.
Yeah.
They're mediocre every
I mean,
year. They
22
never make
years.
it to Omaha.
I mean, I think that.
Ole
I mean, they
Miss
were
at home
preseason
again.
number 1.
Yeah.
I mean,
Every time they are, though.
Go to hell, Ole Miss.
Right?
I kind of think so. I kind of think that he
I
would
do
be.
too.
I mean, I think that I think that they were trying to push him to that LSU job
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
year. You know what I mean? They were
It did seem
crossing
like that.
their fingers that he was going to take that job. But I do think that there would probably be some move. There's just that what around the SEC too now is that there's just so much money.
Yeah.
There's so much money where you can offer these big contracts and you can change people's lives overnight, but with that you lose patience, right? So I mean, you can move on people much quicker, and I doubt you see people like Mike Bianco again in the SEC where
Right.
people stay 22 years.
Yeah, it's
in
kind
one
of over
position
at that point.
I think that when he came in to get that job, college baseball was just a kind of a fill spot. Like, make sure you got there. If they can win, it's lagniappe. Nobody was probably thinking at the time that they hired Bianco that the baseball program could turn into a moneymaker. Something that they could count on for profit. But during that time, Bianco was able to create a buzz, bring in players, started to win.
Yeah, they have a great program.
But they have a great
can't win.
great atmosphere.
They do.
Their field is fantastic. It's very student fan friendly. But it
Yeah.
also keeps the students far enough away from the general public where, the family of 4 will come out there and enjoy it too. It's a great ballpark.
It is. It's not like
And-
the dude, but it's fine.
Oh,
no,
God.
no, we get it. We
It's
get
fine.
It ain't like the dude.
I'm saying that they have a great program, and they really do, but their postseason is just the same every year. Something's got to change.
it.
you
No, I
can't-
agree with you, and I think that there's a lot of people in Ole Miss and Oxford that probably have that same thought.
Yeah.
That it's enough's enough. It's
Yeah.
time for a change.
They deserve a little more.
It's a young man's game now.
Oh, they deserve more.
They do.
Look at
I
you.
mean, they do
Yes.
have a
Little
good
pat on
baseball
the
Yeah,
program.
that-
Little
that's
pat
the
on
mom in
head,
her.
Yes. Little pat on
Look
the
at you
head.
being nice to your
The mom and me.
your arch
Ron,
nemesis.
you love you little loyal to your hometown. I was right when I
Did you
typed
mean to
that.
send that?
I was kind of joking. Yes, I meant to send
when I
it, but
read
I was like,
what is she, 80?
I was joking, and then
Right.
I was laughing when I wrote it, and then I was like, I wish I wouldn't have written that.
Yeah.
Ron was
But
talking
he
about
is
his
so
pride
loyal.
for his part of the state, the 337.
OP. Yeah.
And he put it in the mass text group that goes to about 16
Well,
people
I think
now.
we need to
Yeah.
clean that out. There are
Yeah,
just some
we
people
probably
in there
do.
that probably
We
don't need to
probably
be in
do.
there anymore.
And Katie followed up with Ron's shout out
I'm
to the
gonna read it.
337 by stating,
You're very loyal to your home, Ron. That's nice.
Thanks, Grandma.
And Jordy responded, big mom vibes.
should have put grandma vibes,
Yeah.
bro.
It was.
Put
But
the
he
sewing
is.
kit down and text.
He's so loyal, though, to the 337. He really
look,
is.
When you're
I'm
from
not
that-
like that.
Ronnie.
When you're from that area, it's just like
Clearly.
like it's just home. Like it's just that.
He's
that
protective
feeling.
over
Yeah.
it.
Look,
People from the 337 love the 337.
Yeah,
Like,
that's-
I think
well,
it's
that's-
stronger than the 504.
That's down
Okay.
home Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
See, people talk about the bayou, down the bayou.
Yeah.
Like where I'm from
985.
is down the bayou. Like literally, Franklin is on the bayou.
Okay.
So,
Thibodeau
like,
is
But
too.
you're
Yeah.
337, right?
Yeah, I'm 337.
Okay, that's
yeah.
still
Shout out to
also bayou?
Franklin.
It's just
Yeah.
all kind
There's
of
bayou
south.
everywhere here.
Yeah.
True South Louisiana
It's
Yeah.
true South
is
Louisiana.
down home.
That's actually Katie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 985 is strong too.
It is.
That's
It is.
real thick accents.
Yes.
I'll be in the 985 this weekend.
You've got that
Really?
accent.
Mandeville?
Mandeville? Oh, I was talking about like Lafourche Parish.
Yeah.
Is that like Homa and
I mean,
Thibodeau?
that's
and
Homa,
where-
Thibodeau.
okay.
that's what,
Leah was from. Yeah.
absolutely.
Alapoxy Leah.
That's right.
That's where
On the
I'm
bayou.
Oh, wait,
She's
who-
from Golden Meadow.
Yeah.
The
that
further
is
you
the-
go down
Oh,
the
no, she's from
bayou,
Cutoff and then lived in
Cutoff,
Thibodeau.
La Rose. The
Right.
further you go down the bayou, the thicker the accents get. Like people, like fans that aren't from Louisiana that hear like Coach O's accent think it's strong.
Yeah.
You hear anybody from down the bayou, like Raceland on,
Yeah.
down, like all the way till you hit the Gulf and like Grand Isle. Like the stronger the accents get, the further you
Right.
go down.
Yeah,
I was
absolutely. Better
dating a
food.
guy who had a camp in Fushan, and I went to meet him down there for a weekend to fish, and I left like a work meeting where I was in like a nice dress and heels, and I stopped on the way down. I stopped right before Fushan at this grocery store to pick up some stuff and went inside.
They probably all hid from you.
Everyone had on the white rubber boots,
No, no.
and I've
You
never
lost
been
around
so
here?
uncomfortable in my life. Like I've never been so aware of myself. I like couldn't get out of there fast enough
Yeah.
and like change my clothes. Like what have I done? I arrived at
It's a
Fushan
great
and
part
everybody
of
was
the
like,
world, bro.
"What are you
Yeah.
doing?" And I was like, "I
Great
came
part
from
of the
work."
world.
It is.
Crazy part of the world.
It is a
Interesting,
Venice
though.
Marina has a great shrimp po' boy.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm telling you, the further down south you go, the better the food.
Yep.
True.
Remember, Daily, we're brought to you by GoFlow IV, GeauxFlowIV.com, GoFlow IV. Stop in there today, mention the Jordy Culotta Show, and save yourself a 20% off of your first visit over at GoFlow IV. Remember, they offer memberships over there, 3-month, 6-month, annual memberships, as they can help you out. Baton Rouge's premier medical spa specializing in IV hydration treatments with vitamin infusion. Go see them today on Jefferson Highway. Online at goflowiv.com. That is GEAUX flowiv.com. As go see one of our proud sponsors and tell them you heard it here on the Jordy Culotta Show. As they'll take care of you going into this holiday weekend. If you're going to celebrate, if you're going to be traveling this weekend, stop in and see our friends over at GoFlow IV. We will not be here on Monday. We'll be taking Monday off here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Still waiting to see what's going to happen with Mic'd Up. We are trying to get him into the Champions Club for a live show of Selection Monday
Nice.
for college baseball regional sites. And obviously they will be naming the top 16 seeds. So I feel like LSU will be in that mix. So we're trying to get Mikey in that room to maybe do a live show from there. We're waiting on word from Bill Franquez and the crew. Obviously, they are preparing for the SEC tournament, but as soon as we find out, we will let you know. No show from us on Monday, though, as we will be taking the long weekend off, and we'll celebrate Memorial Day and be back with you on Tuesday morning. So come back with us then, and we will make sure you pay attention to our social media, and we will let you know on whether or not Mic'd Up will be rolling live from the Champions Club on Monday, as LSU baseball will be awaiting with the rest of the sport on the postseason announcements. Things are getting real for Drew Brees,
And we're so excited about it.
I'm not excited. But I do believe that this has been coming for Brees.
Long overdue.
Long overdue. Long overdue. I mean, I think that people felt almost guilty by criticizing him late in his career when he was a Saint because of so much that he had accomplished.
I didn't.
No, I didn't either. But I'm talking about the national
Yeah,
hits.
oh, yeah.
Because this is the first time nationally you're starting to hear
Good boy Brees.
some pushback, right?
Chris Tomlin, Brees.
And now, as we expected, I think that NBC saw that Brees was not going to be elite immediately as a broadcaster, directly out of, off the sideline like Tony Romo was, and that they were going to have to groom him, and it was going to take more of a commitment. And they decided to move on that, and Brees kind of fired back on social media, which showed that he had a little, he's kind of starting to crack a little bit. And now, I don't know if anybody saw this, but Brady Quinn and LeVar Arrington have a radio show on CBS, and they made a comment about Brees. And the comment states that, he's not as well liked as he may think he is. And then kind of LeVar Arrington went in on Brees, saying he's not as loved as he thinks he is, and he acts out when he doesn't go out when it doesn't go the way he would like for it. Let me start over. This is LeVar Arrington talking on Drew Brees. He said yesterday, he's not as loved as he thinks he is, and he acts out when it doesn't go the way he would like for it to go. He's reaching out and he's crying out for attention. Talking about Brees responding to the NBC stuff. And look, I'm not trying to get into the drama part of it, but I think that Brees is starting to get kind of figured out for who he is, and he's not a bad guy by any means.
He's not
nobody's saying that he's a bad guy, and I think he's an easy target because he sets himself up with a lot of the facade that he builds up around himself. I mean, like the Chris Tomlin putting out the playlist on Spotify earlier this week. Like, Drew, nobody cares what music you're listening to.
That's like Ron always putting out his young boy playlist for us on his story.
You
care more about that.
At 20 and 21 years old, I mean, like, you're still thinking that people care that much about what you're listening to, right? And I mean, I get it. At 43, 44, at the career and everything that you're like, Drew, come on, man, have a little, you know what I mean? Like,
read the room.
Nobody cares about that stuff. And really and truly, if you put that out there, it's going to do more harm for you than it does any good. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I know that you're probably coming with a good intention, but I mean, people are going to roast you for doing stuff like that. Yeah. Constantly trying to remind people how polished and how good of a person you are. Man, that's just not how the world works.
Does he not know that? Did he not know when he posted that people were going to just rail on him?
He obviously did not. I am not going to give him credit for being like a troll.
Yeah, no.
Like by putting that out there, like
he's not
trying
that in touch.
No, he's not. I don't think he's too insecure for that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like he wouldn't open himself up for that type of criticism. He's putting that out there to be serious. Mm-hmm.
It's like, look what I'm listening to.
Like, I'm a God guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, okay.
Big God in
Cool. Like, I mean, so is a lot of people without telling you.
Right.
Right? I mean, and, I think that type of stuff turns people off. And, I mean, think about it. Think about somebody in your workplace that walks around the office or walks around these events that you all go to, and you're like, I mean, does she have any idea what the rest of this room thinks about them?
Are you talking about me?
Does he have any? No. But I mean, we all know that person that you're just like, have a little bit of awareness.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, come on. I mean, you really think that people care that much about what you think and say and what music you're listening to?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, really, when I started to fade on Brees, really, the part that got me on Brees was when he used to come to the sideline and dissect those pictures as if it was like a nuclear bomb reading. And every time the cameras would find him, he was always, I mean, it was so, and like, dude, all of the quarterbacks do it. All of the quarterbacks do it. All of them do it where they come off, they look at the sideline, they got the iPad now, so they're like looking at the iPad, and they look at it, and they're like, all right, thank you, Coach, I appreciate that. When they would go to Brees, man, I mean, like, this was like from the jump all the way till the career ended. And about like 11 or 12, I was like, all right, I'm done with the pictures, bro. Like, there's no way that you can be. I mean, he's like
cutouts.
I mean, you would think that the camera would cut away from him for a play, and then it would come back to him, and he's still. It's like, dude, it's one picture. It's one picture. I mean, like, what could you possibly be dissecting to a point where you got to stare at this thing for 7 straight minutes? And I mean, like, you are just, I mean, like, and he's like talking to himself, you know, like, oh, Drew, you really got to see the back. And you're like, dude, like, bro, come on.
On the bench by himself, talking to himself.
There's no way that I get you're dialed in, and you're probably the most prepared dude on the field by miles. But this is fake.
Yeah.
This is fake. I mean, this can't be real, you know. And I mean, and just the buttoned up comments for me, like, Drew, just be yourself, bro. Like, just like unbutton the top button. You know what I mean? Like, take a deep breath.
Yeah, I don't think he can. Like, he might not be able to.
All the way to the top.
Now he can't.
Yeah.
He's too far in. You know what I mean? Like, the time to do it would have been while he was still in football, where you could still kind of use that coolness to kind of twist it a little bit, like kind of spin it. But
no more.
It's done, man. I mean, it's so. I mean, you hear what people, and maybe LeVar Arrington's a little, you know, he may be a little extreme, but I think you hear his peers. Like I said, I mean, there's people in your workplace where you're like, this fucking guy. You know what I mean? Like, here we go. You know what I mean? Like, sit down. Nobody cares. And I think that's kind of like, you know, them just kind of speaking up, like, Drew, bro, don't tweet out what you're listening to on the radio.
We don't care.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you came off very, you came off looking like the bad one of that NBC tweet.
Yeah.
You know, like it was like you're not going to tell me what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know,
maybe
like,
I'll be at NBC, maybe I won't.
I think he did that to get people talking.
Totally.
Well, just that's always kind of his MO. And again, man, here comes the Brees Crusaders. I am not saying that Drew Brees is a bad guy. If I had to relive it all again, Brees is the quarterback of the Saints. It was awesome. They should put a statue in Lee's circle of Brees, you know, holding his helmet, running out of whatever it may be. I mean, like, he meant so much, still means so much to the city.
He does.
And to the franchise, and has helped out countless amounts of people, kids, all of that stuff. His philanthropy, all of that he has given back to the state is so greatly appreciated. But, I mean, there were times during that 16 years where you were like, come on, Drew, just be Drew. You know what I mean? Be the dude that used to beat Andy Roddick in tennis when y'all were growing up. There's no way it was this guy that was always buttoned up and wanting you to believe that he was this, you know, bright and shiny pupil. Like, man, you're a human being. Be a human being.
He beat Andy Roddick in tennis?
He would consistently beat Andy
I had
Roddick
no
in tennis
idea.
when he was growing up. I mean, he is a freak athlete.
Yeah, I know he's a pretty good athlete. but
Jeez,
it's
I didn't
just
know that, though.
These last couple of years.
I mean,
somebody in the chat said Drew Brees hasn't been good since 2015. I kind of agree with him.
I agree too.
Yeah.
The entire offense changed after 2015. He could not throw the ball down the field. I'm not saying that he didn't deserve to play, because, you know, I mean, a lot like you know, these superstars and great athletes do. The older they get, they more beat you with their mental part than they do their physical skills, right? I mean, LeBron is kind of a freak in the sense where he can still beat you up as physically as he did almost a decade ago. But I mean, remember Kobe aging, where he would just break you down off a fundamental shot fake, ball handling. Just simply, he would mentally beat you at a young man's sport. You know, I mean, even MJ late in his career, he developed that turnaround jump shot where nobody could defend it. Nobody could defend it. And early in his career, he was selling posters by winning dunk competitions. He couldn't do that anymore, but he was still the best in the game when he was 37, right? And I mean, from Brees' standpoint, I mean, he was still at the top of his game when he was there, but it was more because of his mental capability. But come like 17, 18, 19, coach, he couldn't throw the ball down the field. And, I mean, that's a prerequisite to play quarterback in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, you got to have that skill set. And I think it is another testament to the greatness of Sean Payton and really the capability of Brees to be able to kind of hide that and still be as effective as he was and them win. But, I mean, he was not.
It's easy to hide when you got that man behind you right there.
Absolutely. And Mike Thomas. And, I mean, he had a ton of weapons, and he knew how to use them. And for me, Brees' best attribute that he will ever have is his accuracy, right? Like, I mean, he was as accurate of a quarterback that I could ever remember. I mean, he would put the ball in places that, where did he even see the window, right? Like, I don't even know how he would see the chance that he had to put the ball in a spot. But I mean,
that's why he was studying that iPad so hard.
Maybe so.
No, it was cutouts, Katie. It was like still cutouts.
Oh.
We're not talking about the iPad that has the play that you could run it back 14 times or however many times you want to run it back. We're talking
you're
about
talking
like
about still
photos, and he's just
Well,
7 minutes straight.
I'm sure there was a method to his madness.
I mean, I understand it, but like you don't need 7 minutes to break down a still photo.
He did,
of a play.
obviously.
It
worked out.
Grass says Brees held the Saints back. Brees held the Saints back, to be honest, and Sean Payton allowed it. No one respected the deep game. They just sat on the routes. Cordell Music, 20 yards and below. Hunter Fournette and Thomas was still breaking records. Wes Shin, Jordy, did you have a sit down with the Godfather before you killed Drew in here?
This is when we should have people call in.
Brandon
and
Hollingsworth
talk about
just
this.
turning in. What did Brees come up for again? Just reacting to some of the things that he says that LeVar Arrington was saying about him yesterday. William Ivey, Brandon, Jordy loves to hate on Brees. No, I don't, William. No, I don't, bro. I know that there's a ton of Brees blowhards out there that anytime you talk about the guy, I mean, you are condemned for saying anything bad about him. All I'm pointing out is he's not as shiny as everybody believed him to be, and it's okay. And it's okay. It's okay. I think the majority of people that might be out there might have saw that the gig was up, while he was still with the Saints. I did. You know what I mean? If you've listened to me on this platform for a while, even when I was at my former place, T-Bob and I used to go back and forth on this all the time because T-Bob, I mean, obviously loves Brees. You know what I mean? Is a Brees defender to the highest degree. And anytime I would say anything about, man, he underthrew that slant route. Why do you hate Drew Brees? Like, I don't hate Drew Brees, but that's his money pass, and he missed it. You know, I mean, can we not criticize the guy? I mean, that's it. Well, I mean, no, not on this radio show. I'm like, all right. But I mean, I just, he would have been to me so much. He tried to protect an image and a brand so hard and intense that it was overload, and people started to see through it. And then in one 30-second soundbite on Yahoo Finance,
No, it's so random.
During the pandemic, his whole career of building this image up was gone. I mean, in a snap, in a 30-second soundbite, he became polarized. Maybe not by people in Louisiana, because they're diehard Saints fans, and you were riding with your quarterback, no matter what he was going through. But the rest of the country and the world, who had come to recognize Brees as this, just unvarnished figure and model that you could put on any endorsement, and he could endorse anything and push any product and tell you about his business sense, and all of that went away. And it was just because they caught him being a human being. He gave you his thoughts on how he felt. And to me, that was where it was like relatable to Brees. Brees was never relatable to me in a place where he should have been. He's my height. You know what I mean? I mean, like, he's the same size. He's like Tyrann Mathieu when he walked in the studio. Everybody in here was like, this is the best safety in the NFL? I mean, like, the dude, he's eye level with us. I mean, Brees was 5'10".
I mean, I was looking at the top of his head.
You would be doing that to Drew Brees. I mean, straight up. You know what I mean? And that's incredible that Brees was that good in a giant man's game where he was breaking records. And the only person's records he started breaking at the end of his career was his own. You know what I mean? Like, he was so good paired up with Sean Payton in a, you know, in a gladiator sport where, bro, be a human being. Like, be the guy out here saying, this is incredible. You know, like, I mean, so, I mean, you know, look, man, I don't want to get going down the road hating on Brees. I don't hate on Brees, man. William, Jordy, you're complaining about Brees for getting old and not being cool. It's not his fault. No, I'm not.
That's not it.
No, I'm not,
That's
William.
not it.
You sound old and uncool, and you're mad about it. I'm not saying that Brees is getting old. Brees is suffering a lot now for the buildup that he tried to do while he was young. Rather than being, when he was young, just being young. Mm-hmm. When he was supposed to be young and cool, he was trying to be old and protected. And now that he's old, his young man stuff is kind of coming out and calling him for what he is. And all I'm saying is, if you just be who you are and you just be human, more people are going to like you. And those that don't, fuck them. I mean, like, who cares? Mm-hmm. Who cares? I mean, I say this every day on this show. We put ourselves in the public every single day. Every single day, all of these people open up a microphone. You have a choice. You don't have to be here. But you come with us and you sit in and you can compliment us, criticize us, whatever you want to say about us.
And they do.
You can do that. You can take it to a lunch table today and say whatever you want to say. There's nothing that we can do to control that. All we can do is control the controllable. So we just come in here and we be ourselves. If you don't like it, you don't have to be here. But we appreciate the people that do like it, support it, and we love being here every day, just being ourselves. And I've been fake on this platform before. Whether it was on the radio, on TV, or, you know, not so much here because I've had learned from those stops before. The people that smell it the fastest is the public. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I would be on the radio back in the day, kind of cutting my teeth and learning how to do this, I was trying to find my style and find my chops. If I was bullshitting, the people that were listening were the first to tell you, you sound full of shit. You sound like you're lying. You sound nervous. You sound, you know, I mean, it was great to see, like, man, you know what? I can't be somebody I'm not on the radio. First off, it's too hard to fake.
Yeah.
Second off, it's a hell of a commitment. Third off, it's just easier to just be yourself.
It is.
Right? I mean, like, not everybody's going to like you.
No,
we learned that. I was telling somebody, I think I was talking to Bree or Jamil, one of our young people in the game in our industry over here, and we were just kind of going back and forth on some ways of the trade. And I said, the faster that you can get to a point where you don't care whether or not people like you in this trade, in this industry, the better off you're going to be. The first 4 or 5 years I was in it, I was curious. What did he say? What'd they say? I read here that they said this about you. Where? Send me the link. You know, like, bro, who cares? You try to go out putting out these fires, those fires, and this, you're in the wrong trade. You're in the wrong business. Yeah, and if you're an NFL quarterback and you're going to try and protect your facade 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, every day, all day, forever, bro, that ain't going to work. That's not going to work. You're too much in demand. People they're paying you $25 million a year. You're a spokesman for countless amounts of companies. You're out in the public nearly every single day. If you're going to a driving range to hit golf balls, people are going to be videotaping you on their people are going to be filming you on their phone. You can't get away from it. You might as well just be yourself. You might as well just cut the crap, bro. Because somebody's going to sniff that stuff out, and as soon as they do, that's when it's really going to... Because if you care about it, if you're caught being a fraud, they're going to pounce on you, man. And it sounds like people within his own industry, look at LeVar Arrington's comments on what he said about Drew Brees. He didn't just think that when Brees tweeted that last week from NBC. He's obviously been feeling that for a minute. And I think that's just kind of what people are saying. Like, man, Drew, be Drew. You know what I mean? Just, it's easy, bro. I mean, you got a couple $100 million in the bank. You got healthy kids and family.
A couple $100 million.
I mean, it's
I
the
mean,
truth.
really?
Come on.
What you hiding from? You know what I
I
mean?
know.
Like,
I mean, I guess.
tuck away $100 million in my bank account. I'm walking around in Speedos hitting relief med on Twitter all day. Blast me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Talk about me.
Go ahead. Kill me. Crush me. Well, I'm in the
They
south
do.
of Greece.
Right.
You know what I mean? I
do.
just, I don't, you know, I mean, I don't. Mark Cumbie, if I was a retired NFL guy, I would disappear and enjoy life. Amen.
Right.
Amen.
Too much money to
Too
just
much
be like
money to be
to
worried
be mad.
about. Yeah, to be
what
worried
people are
about
saying
this
about
stuff,
you.
and to be
No.
worried about if NBC wants me to call games.
I don't
You
give
know
a
what I mean?
damn.
Absolutely. You don't want me back? Cool.
Cool. Go coach my
Yeah,
sons.
right. Rent this yacht I've been looking at for the last 6
Right.
months.
Honey, I've been looking at this yacht. Can I buy it?
Y'all want a vacation for the next half year?
Right.
Get the kids' school taught on Zoom in the middle of the Mediterranean.
Right. This dude's worried about if NBC wants
Yeah,
him.
right.
Come on, Drew.
I want a Romo contract. No, you don't, bro. For what? What's 20 extra million at this point? You know what I mean? Like, you got 250 in the bank.
Another walk-ons.
Go spend
Small
it.
sliders.
Daily, we're brought to you by our friends over at Edward Jones. Get in touch with my friend. Talking about money management? You want somebody that can manage your money? Manage your mountain of cash? Call our guy, Daniel Newman. Daniel.Newman at EdwardJones.com. Daniel.Newman at EdwardJones.com. His number is 225-261-8262. The experienced financial advisor. Got a great history in the trade. Can help you out with investments. Can help you out with any questions you may have about your fiscal financial security. Get in touch with him today over at Daniel.Newman at EdwardJones.com. Daniel.Newman at EdwardJones.com for money management and the best. He's located out in Central. He'll take you to lunch over there at Stabs, talk a lot of basketball with you, and then put you on some winners as far as your investments go. Get in touch with Daniel Newman, Daniel.Newman. Good news around basketball and around New Orleans is that Zion's been cleared to play.
So
Pelicans
excited.
announced it on Thursday. Zion Williamson has been cleared to play this offseason without any restrictions after a recent imaging on the fifth metatarsal in his right foot showed continued improvement.
Okay.
Barring any setbacks, this is coming from a media release from the New Orleans Pelicans. Barring any setbacks that should pave the way for Williamson's return next season after missing all of 21 and 22.
Please no setbacks.
There was some hope that Williamson was going to return for the first-round playoff series. That was shot down. The Pelicans made the playoffs, but lost, obviously, to the Phoenix Suns in the opening round. So it's going to be an exciting offseason for New Orleans and the Pelicans, in my opinion, if they can get Zion, who seems like he is bought in, seems like he is ready to play going in to this third year of his rookie deal now around a very young, talented, and exciting team for the future. Willie Green, who was obviously the first-year coach last year, had tremendous success at really rallying the troops, man, getting the locker room to buy in, believe, and adding Zion to that mix. I think that this will be a challenge, but a challenge that if you're a NBA basketball coach that you openly welcome and invite, right, of getting maybe one of the most unique basketball players on the planet in Zion Williamson into a mix of a young talent pool that is, coming off of their best season. How does Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson coexist? That would be my biggest question, and feel like that's probably the biggest obstacle that Willie Green is going to have to pass and get through, is finding a way for those two guys to be happy on an NBA offense. Because one thing that Ingram showed down the stretch this past season and through the second half of the season is that he is a legitimate big-time all-star in the NBA. His playoff performance versus Phoenix, not just the Game 4 performance back in New Orleans, but, I mean, the way that he managed the entire workload that time, I thought from a physical standpoint, showed his maturity. His body lasted through the regular season and through a physical playoff series, and he was the best player on the floor. for many of those minutes during that series. Chris Paul had some highlights, obviously, in games 1 and 3, but there were, all in all, Brandon Ingram, I thought, was the legitimate superstar on the floor. And you hate to, after a season and run like that, tell Ingram that you may be taking the ball out of his hand a little bit more with Zion returning, because I'm not sure how you make this work, because I always thought that the point forward Zion position that he was running for Stan Van Gundy, but you just clear out, get to the rim, and get the bucket, was very effective. But it also isolated, guys like Brandon Ingram. I mean, if you go back and watch a lot of those highlights, Ingram's just kind of sitting in the corner with his hands by his side, just kind of staring and watching like the guy in the second and third row is. And you can't have that. So this is a good problem. Mm-hmm. By no means am I saying that this is an issue that the Pelicans are going to have trouble overcoming. It's something that they're going to have to figure out, but I don't know why they couldn't.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah, they will.
And it's going to be a
absolutely
great season. And guess what email I got this morning just in time? That Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation raffle is back.
Oh, wow.
And I will clear it with our guy before we post it, but
Jay Cicero?
Yes, you do get 2 season tickets for Pelicans games, Saints games, and they've thrown in the All-State kickoff game, LSU versus
nice.
Florida State.
Nice.
Sugar Bowl, all those games, and they're only selling 1,500 raffle tickets, $100 each.
Wow.
And it's crazy.
No, it's a great giveaway.
It is a great giveaway.
A great giveaway, man.
And I think they draw in August for the winner, so we'll post up about that too. But I'm gonna be buying tickets. You get Tulane, LSU football, baseball, basketball, Tulane, all the sports, Zurich Classic, Saints, Pelicans. It's insane.
Think about if you're a business owner.
Yes.
Just the perks that you could give away with some types with these tickets. I mean,
yes, every home game.
Even if you don't do business in New Orleans. I don't even like Tulane football. Okay, but I bet you one of your clients does.
Well, it's LSU too.
Right? So, I mean, to me, this is mindless.
It is.
Of scooping up and gobbling up one of these 1,500 tickets.
It is the best raffle.
It's a great raffle. Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation. Jay Cicero, who's a great paisan, who's the president of that foundation, who we would definitely have back on here to promote. But it is awesome.
Speaking of Saints games, so I was back home this past weekend. Went visit my dad. He was telling me about how he was going to Saints games last year. And I was like, when did you go to a Saints game? So he pulls out his phone and starts showing me pictures of him like in the suites at Saints games.
Wow.
And I'm like,
You didn't even know? He never invited you.
Right. And he's like, yeah, I called you whenever I went to the game. I was like, you never called me one time.
Yeah, I went straight to voicemail.
Yeah, like, bro.
You still got that number. You still got that 5879?
Yeah, right. I'm like, bro.
5876.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Right. This dude's like flexing on me. Like, he showed me multiple pictures of him
So
in the
he's
suites.
got season suite tickets?
Well, he knows a guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
He sounds Italian.
Yeah.
He does.
He knows a guy, man.
Right.
He's got a guy.
You got season? Hell no, I don't have season tickets.
Yeah.
But I know a guy who does. All right, so we will talk to Nathan Velasquez coming up here in a couple of minutes. But as we said, sad news around Hollywood. Ray Liotta, famed actor, died 67 years old in his sleep down in the Dominican Republic while shooting a movie down there. We'll talk to Nate about the Hollywood feels after one of the greats suddenly passes away. We'll also talk to him about Top Gun Maverick, which opened and debuted in theaters yesterday.
And no one in here knows anything about it except for
Anybody
you and
take
I.
that assignment? Go watch the original.
I have
Come on,
not.
y'all.
I have not
Yeah.
taken my assignment yet. I will have it. I will have it done by
Get
Tuesday.
on the highway
Okay.
to the danger zone immediately.
That's right. That's right.
I will. My mom would probably be really mad at me that I haven't watched Top Gun because
We
she's
are
a big
mad
Top
at
Gun
you.
fan.
Yeah,
She loves Tom Cruise.
The
there you
remake.
go.
All right, college football has their opening weekend scheduled. As we said, we mentioned that LSU is going to be featured on opening weekend for the Kickoff Classic Labor Day weekend. They're going to be 6:30 on Sunday, and obviously LSU football here in the off season, getting set to report to camp, or not to camp, to off season workouts here on Tuesday, I believe, after the long weekend. So you will have all of these incoming freshmen, the 15 that they signed all of the transfers that they signed, guys like Noah Kane, who they had signed out of the transfer portal during the recruiting process, but had to finish up his second semester up at Penn State, will obviously be down in Baton Rouge. So you'll get this full roster intact going into the offseason here and really get an idea of what LSU is going to be looking like when fall camp opens. So a lot of cool storylines that we're following and watching here. We will continue our conversations with LSU football players throughout the summer, as a lot of those guys have been in and out traveling to home and taking some vacations before summer workouts begin. But as soon as everybody gets back on campus, we will have them coming through here, just like we have been over the last couple of weeks. So make sure you stay tuned in. Hit that like button, share button, comment button. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more of the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Go Chevrolet is proud to announce Go Express Auto Sales, the new used car lot located in the capital city of Baton Rouge, Louisiana at 11522 Florida Boulevard. Go Express Auto Sales is online at goexpressautosales.com, or you can search them on Facebook and social media at Go Express Auto Sales, the newest addition to the family of Go Chevrolet. Remember, Go Chevrolet is located down in Laplace, Louisiana, but now welcoming aboard Go Express, the new used car lot located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana at 11522 Florida Boulevard. Do you have questions about your finances? Are you looking for recommendations from a skilled financial advisor? Get in touch with our friend Daniel Newman over at Edward Jones. You can find him easily by logging online and shooting him an email at daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. That is daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. Whether it is help with your 401k or just fiscal advice heading into the new season, get in touch with Daniel today. Best way to do it? Email him, daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. He's our experienced financial advisor. Let him be yours, daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. True Blue Water, true hydration at its finest. Right now, you're only a few minutes away from getting your 5-gallon water delivered to you, just like we are over here at the UDL. All you got to do is log on to truebluewater.com. That's TRU bluewater.com. The website's fantastic over at truebluewater.com. You can get your service and find out how quick it is. You can schedule a delivery, even hop on the billing system right there at truebluewater.com. TRU bluewater.com.
Hey y'all, it's Mikey from Mic'd Up. Catch us live every Monday and Wednesday, 11 to 1. Talk gambling, talk sports, have a ton of guests in here, get a little perspective from the athlete side of it. We got Lloyd in the house, Jay Mitch is in here a lot of the time. It's a fun show, great show. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you don't like it, it's fine. Make fun of us, it's okay. Just get us out there, share us out there. We're having fun, we want to share our fun with you. Like I said, Mic'd Up, brought to you by Sterling Automotive. Every Monday through Wednesday, 11 to 1. Catch us live on YouTube, baby. See y'all.
Southern Eye Centers, located at 6859 Jefferson Highway right here in Baton Rouge, has been serving your eyes for over 40 years in the capital region. They offer friendly service in a helpful environment with the highest level of personal care to manage your eye health and vision needs. If you want more information, log online to southerneyecenters.com. That is southerneyecenters.com. Stop in and check out their beautiful office located on Jefferson Highway right here in the capital city. And remember, each time you walk in there and you mention the Jordy Culotta Show, Dr. Ann Shaw and Southern Eye Centers will take 25% off of their fantastic selection of sunglasses. All you got to do is mention the Jordy Culotta Show. Check them out, southerneyecenters.com, and located at 6859 Jefferson Highway.
Nate, you got me? Nate?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Yeah, got you. Coming to you in a few.
Awesome.
Coming to you in a few.
Cool.
All right, the cooking couple cooking it up inside the kitchen. Big Josh is here from Iverstein's.
Yay.
Don't
forget about that sale.
The Thespian?
That tomorrow, Iverstein's, right? 20% off of everything in their freezer. They're
That's
cleaning out
right.
Saturday. And hey, they have chicken, by the way. Y'all looked at me like I was crazy when I talked about this last time. But they said chicken was excluded from the sale. So that's how I know they have chicken.
Oh, look at you.
Stewie, pull up a picture of the new Winnie Pooh. Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, all right.
What?
Winnie the Pooh is getting an R-rated movie.
You're lying.
No.
No way.
Well, that's
They're
because he
getting
doesn't
an
wear pants.
R-rated horror movie. Nathan Velasquez, who is our Hollywood critic, the 5-minute critic, who taps in every week with us here from New York City, is up in the Big Apple today talking. He was busy last week, so he's back with us here on this Friday. Nate, how are you? Good morning.
Doing well. I was a little late to the game on getting Top Gun tickets. Like everything, every theater in the city is packed out for IMAX to see Top Gun. Yeah,
Well, that's
it's crazy.
good.
So I'm going to have to wait till Tuesday to see this thing.
Nate, before we get to Winnie the Pooh, your thoughts on the original Top Gun, and did you ever thought that that type of movie, which felt like a Jerry Bruckheimer Untouchable, was going to be remade?
The original movie, I would say, kind of feels like a perfect time capsule for that era. At least whenever I watch it with someone that was kind of thriving in that time, they say that it's kind of perfect. It feels like the 80s. It captures the spirit. It's got the patriotism. It's got everything that time period felt like. I mean, I can't say whether that's completely true or not. It feels true, but it's also just entertaining as hell. Like, there are you can poke a bunch of holes in it. Like, there's cheesy stuff in it, but you kind of need that, with some movies. Like, this is the type of movie. Jerry Bruckheimer does that type of thing all the time. And I feel like it's just fun. It's a fun time. I think people were nervous. They were nervous because the production took so long for this new one.
Yeah, it
It's been
did
going on
like
for... Well, they were talking about it in production for like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's supposed to come out in 2020. Obviously, it's pushed back for a while. The studio is pressuring Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is like, we are not releasing this until everything is back to normal. But so they stuck with it, and now they're going for this huge opening. And you see the behind-the-scenes footage of what they were doing. Like, they were saying no green screens. We're not doing anything that cannot... Everything that can be in camera is going to be in camera. So whenever we put these actors on the jets, they're actually going to be up there. We're going to mount the biggest cameras. We're going to modify the cockpit so that we can fit the biggest cameras in there. Like, put the camera right there with them. When you see these shots of, like, these fighter jets right next to Tom Cruise, they're literally right next to him when they're going however fast up there. Like, it looks insane. So I'm excited to see it. And, I mean, the reviews are outstanding. Like, normally something like this, a sequel blockbuster, critics normally like to hang it out to dry. But it's getting really good reviews. So I think this is going to be one, yeah.
Didn't you say it got a standing ovation in, is it Cannes or Cannes?
It's can. So, yeah, and say like a tin can.
Gotcha,
all
gotcha.
good, all
They
good.
got a
But,
standing ovation
Did he get a
there?
standing ovation?
Yeah, he got like a
Wow.
5-minute standing ovation.
Jeez.
Yeah, and that's in Cannes. That's kind of every movie. A movie in Cannes will either get a standing ovation or it'll be filled with walkouts. This one, and normally the blockbusters that play there, they normally get walkouts. You got all the critics there, the hoity-toity filmmakers who don't want to see a new Star Wars movie, don't want to see a new Tom Cruise movie. For that to get a standing ovation for 5 minutes, I mean, it's just sounds awesome. It makes the whole movie sound awesome.
The story of Cruise and his stunts on set are classic stories of Hollywood. But I mean, this guy's a maniac, right?
I have no idea what it is exactly. I don't know if he has a death wish. Like the one that I still can't get over is the Halo jump that he was doing. The one that they actually filmed the whole thing in one shot in the last Mission Impossible movie. And what was it? He had to train, I think, 50 times before they were even able to start filming. So he's up there like booking hours and hours and hours of jumping from like tens of thousands of feet from the air. Like in this new Mission Impossible movie, he's like jumping this motorcycle off the side of a cliff, and it's actually him doing it. You've got him, he's going into space next year to film this space movie. It's going to be the second movie, I guess, now actually filmed in space. He like broke his ankle, I think, on the last Mission Impossible movie too, and he was out for like 3 weeks and then came back, did it again. It's wild. And hearing him talk in his interviews, he sounds a little crazy when he talks about how he likes to make movies, but he essentially says it's his favorite thing in the world. He's like, sometimes that's awesome. He says he's ruined relationships because of how much dedication he gives to movies. But he's like, if I have to be the last movie star that goes, the limit to make the coolest action scenes of all time, that's what I'm here to do. It's wild level of commitment.
Has there ever been anybody committed at this level, like even in the history of the trade?
I mean, you would hear some things, like you would hear things about...
Was Brando, was like Marlon Brando this...
Or like a Bond, like Connery
Marlon Brando would get like fat. If they were like gain 50 pounds, he'd be like, I'll gain 50 pounds, and he would do it. Or there'd be some people who would psychologically, like you hear stories about Daniel Day-Lewis, people who are able to like psychologically kind of lock themselves away and become a character. But when it comes to actors, particularly movie actors, like they do not, like give them a cigarette, they'll hardly smoke a cigarette. Like they let alone jump off the side of a building. Like they're very, give me my stunt double. We're not doing, like the insurance companies, the studios are like, we're dealing with a $1 million human being. We can't be throwing them off the side. But Tom was like, screw it. Just we're going to go for it.
Ray Liotta made smoking look cool in Goodfellas. A lot of his drags were awesome. Goodfellas is a role that stands out. Obviously, Field of Dreams is one that this crowd who is listening and primarily into sports will recognize. But Liotta's list is long. His personal story, being adopted as a young man, as a young child, is incredible. And to the success he went on to have in Hollywood, how did you hear the news, and what was your reaction to the news of Ray Liotta passing away yesterday?
Well, we were about to go live with the review of Men yesterday, and we just kind of had to scrap it because this news came out. Like, this was sad to hear. Ray Liotta he has 162 movie credits to his name. So you can't really name a ton of stuff that he's been in, but he's constantly working. But I think the amazing thing is that you rarely get an actor who is so known just for that one role, so defined by that one role. Like, I feel like if you're a filmmaker, if you can make one great movie, then you're one of the greats. Yeah. And Ray Liotta is not someone like Robert De Niro, who you just list off title after title, or Daniel Day-Lewis, you list off like 10 incredible titles, 10 incredible performances, but his performance, he was able to become immortal with that one Goodfellas performance, and it takes some people dozens of movies to become immortal, and he's just so good in it. Like, just going back and watching clips of him in Goodfellas, that he makes the entire movie that kind of like nervous, frenetic energy that like a lot of actors don't have, and it's wild that he was just able to reach such heights with that one performance. And he's good in Field of Dreams too, but again, if he was just in Field of Dreams, I don't know if we'd really all be talking about it today. That one performance in Goodfellas is just so, it's like on Mount Rushmore of performances. Like, that face is tied with that story. It's so huge.
My favorite scene in Goodfellas is when he pulls up to the payphone, picks up his wife, they go back to her parents' house, and he pistol whips the neighbor after he had assaulted him. Is there a scene that stands out to you? I know him driving around the city frantically running from the helicopter is a great scene while he's blown up on cocaine is awesome.
No, that one for me, I think, is the one that I love the most. I just love, like, you feel yourself sweating whenever you're in the middle of that. But no, the best one I would have to say, either whenever he's beating up the neighbor, which is still so intense. Like, the movie got so much backlash for that scene, because in the day, that was, like, beyond the level of violence people are used to. But he's so good in that. Even the scene wherever he wakes up and she's got the gun in his face. that's like,
Karen,
jeez, man. Yeah.
Karen.
The way that he's trying to like calm the situation down, and then he gets control and it snaps and reverses, and it's like, oh my God, these people, what is going on? It's so good. His performance is everyone in that movie is so good. Everyone's, coming out saying that he was an incredible actor, incredible performer. But no, that I'm hard to think of another actor who was so good just with so few performances. Like the guy that played Fredo in The Godfather was another one. He only had like 3-4 performances before he died, and they're like beyond as well. But he did a great job. Really did a great job, and it's sad to see him go so young too.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Nathan, what is this that I'm reading about Winnie the Pooh getting an R-rated movie? Who hates kids in Hollywood? What's going on?
It's terrifying. The images.
It's called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. So
What the hell?
the original story apparently is I think it's that you have 70 years after the author dies before a story goes into the public domain. So there's an indie group that essentially said, okay, perfect, we'll match it up, we'll get ready to go. We're going to make a horror movie where the story is, here, I got it here. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is going to see Pooh and Piglet as the main villains going on a bloodthirsty rampage. Apparently, Christopher Robin is pulled away from them to go to college, and he hasn't been able to give them food, making their lives quite difficult. They've now kind of reverted to a feral state, going back to their roots. They're no longer tame. They're a vicious bear and pig who want to go around and try and find prey. So
Why?
it looks incredible. I don't know, if
What
we have
is
pictures, we need to
happening?
put it up.
I mean,
The
look at
pictures
this
are
thing.
I have no idea.
horrifying.
Good
Look at
Look
that.
at this thing.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Like, does he
I
wear
don't know
pants?
what- I don't
That's
know
what I
what's-
need to know. Like, does
I
he
mean,
have
it
pants
looks
on?
like he has
true.
the suspenders,
That is
his
a hell
whole
of a hair
fit.
No, I don't know what is going on
I
here.
mean-
I am absolutely going to check it out. It is the weirdest
Yes.
thing ever. They said we're sticking as close to the 1920s version as possible because they're already anticipating just pounds of lawsuits crushing down on
The
them for doing this
1920s
from
version
Disney.
of what?
Just the Winnie the Pooh story. I don't know.
How are they
I don't know
sticking
what it
close
means
to that at
stick to the-
Yeah, right.
How is
we're-
this close?
Katie,
it with a
when you read
spear.
between the lines
I
of
guess
great
so.
literature,
You're
you
right.
see so many things. It would have been great if the author originally you find a diary and he's like, no, there really is
Oh my
something. There's
gosh,
something
yes.
feral, dangerous
Yes.
about the original Winnie the Pooh.
Right.
I don't know. It's scary,
It
but
is.
hopefully they pull it off.
Is it out now? Like, can we watch it now, or is this coming?
I think we're supposed to be getting it around Halloween.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at that.
Perfect.
Perfect. Kids, load up. Nathan, this Johnny Depp and this Amber Heard trial comes to an end today. This has been a content machine for many streaming services out there and many sites out there. What have you made of this trial, and how do you think this thing plays out today?
I mean, I don't know what it says now that we're at the end of this, what it means for our culture that we all have been so consumed by it, but I guess we can dissect that another day. It's bizarre how much people have
I know.
been consumed by
It's
it.
entertaining.
And
I feel
apparently-
so guilty. I watch all the
I'll be out with a group of people and I'll be like, do we really need to spend so much time doing this? Like, it's personalized. We shouldn't be taking. And then I'm in the middle of work and I'm like, wait, he said what about when they were at the restaurant? Like, that's insane.
No.
It's so bad. It's so bad. But apparently this isn't even the last trial. There's going to be another trial. Because this is Johnny Depp suing for defamation. She's apparently countersuing him. So I think we're going to get a whole nother one of these.
Please
So we
do.
can all be
Don't
ashamed
televise
and
that one.
excited.
Yes,
Oh,
please
let them
don't
settle.
televise that one.
I just got a
It's so-
notification from Twitter that said Johnny Depp and Amber Heard defamation trial reaches closing arguments.
All right.
Wow, I'm in.
Like,
You
as
gotta
soon
get
as
out
you
of
said
here.
that.
Nathan, have a good day. We'll talk to you later. Signing off for the Jordy Culotta Show.
I think he wins, though.
Do you?
I think
I
he's
do
going to
too.
take it.
I do too.
Her counsel has cost her. Like it feels like her legal team
It's
has
very
really
weird.
been the almost like Johnny Depp's
It doesn't
best
feel like
player.
they've been stepping up to the plate.
No.
They haven't been stepping up to the plate. The fact that I think the final blow seems to have been the Kate Moss thing. The fact that she was like Johnny's girlfriend from the 90s. We all know the rumor that he pushed her down the stairs. So I was terrified for my life. And then Kate Moss is on video call like 2 days ago. And she goes, yeah, that never happened. He was awesome. It was cool. I cried for a few years because I missed the guy.
Right.
And it's like, oh man, this is just, it's becoming more and more cringe. I feel like it's just let's cut it off. Let's move on. It feels so awkward that there's now going to be a whole other one of these. And it's like, what? My Lord, let's kill this thing.
mean, this
Just
is-
give another Pirates of the Caribbean movie and let's move on.
Yes.
Look how long litigation. This is going to be like 5-6 years of these people's lives when it's all wrapped up, man.
Well, these stories are going back to like 2016, and then you're hearing like some of what the judge is saying in some moments, and they're kind of like, all right, Depp, your team has used 37 of your 48 hours. Heard, your team has used 25 of your 48 hours. It's like, what in the world? This is bizarre. It's bizarre. It's tiring.
It is.
All right, so Men is the latest review, right, over at 5 Minute Critic. What did you make of it?
Yes. So this is the new movie from the director of Ex Machina. I think most people, if you ask, they would put Ex Machina near the top of their favorite movies. It's an awesome movie. It's like sci-fi and horror meeting in a very interesting way. Like it's pushing science fiction into new like artificial intelligence areas and doing such a convincing job with the stuff it's dealing with that it becomes really, really creepy. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, you really need to watch it. But the director's now gone on to this movie, which I would say do not be fooled because all the posters say from the director of Ex Machina. This is the biggest waste of time that this filmmaker has come up with. It is an hour and a half, and it felt like you had been there for like 2.5 hours. It's a cool 30 minutes. The first 30 minutes is very cool. Would have made a great short film, but it totally loses the plot. Has no idea what it is doing. Just reaching to be weird for weird's sake. And I love movies that go like full on weird. Sure. But this movie has no idea what it's doing. It's just, anyone that sees it in the theater, sees that it's from that director, I would say please just take another look. And it's getting really good reviews. I don't get that at all because it is just so clearly half-baked. Very half-baked. So caution on that one.
Have you tracked down The Offer yet? On Paramount Plus, streaming.
Not yet. Okay. Have not done it yet. Have not done it. I will make sure that I am an episode or two in by the next time we talk.
And looking forward to your Tom Cruise, your Top Gun Maverick review next Friday.
Absolutely.
Fly high, Dave. See you, buddy.
See y'all later.
Bye.
Right, John Delaunay inside of the chat says, Pooh was a pothead. Eora was a heroin addict. Tigger was a coke freak. These are not idols for your children.
That makes complete sense when you think about Pooh, Eeyore, and Tigger.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, a lot of like early cartoon, early child stories. I mean, like the backstory on Willy Wonka's wild.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The amount of drugs they were doing on set and all of the drug type of references that they make and all of the colors and everything. A lot of trips on acid.
I was about to say, a lot of tripping going on.
A lot of acid.
I mean,
on
it's
the
always
set
been, it's
there.
like fairy tales and stories. It's always been weird. They've always been weird and creepy.
Yeah. I was gonna ask Nate. I forgot to ask him. He was talking. I didn't want to interrupt, but I did. Like Amber Heard kind of lost the trial. I thought she lost the trial when she did a bump on Stan.
Yeah.
I didn't think that got as much.
And nobody really
I didn't think that nobody really investigated that as hard as I thought that they should.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I guess they were like, well, I guess she
to
just
be expected. It's Hollywood.
Yeah, right. This guy was in blow.
What do you mean?
What?
Johnny Depp's lawyer tore her ass apart.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yes.
But like honestly, this case has been going on for 6 weeks. This trial.
I know.
This is the most drawn out civil case I have ever seen.
It is
it's
weird.
so beyond unnecessary.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's from the government. I wonder if they're trying to distract us on something.
Probably.
Oh my God! What a conspiracy!
This is so highly publicized. Like,
Government ploy.
How can we distract the world for 6 weeks? You know what?
I don't think the whole world's into
it, maybe not the whole world. That would be a shot at the whole world. The United States of America.
Yes, there you go.
Just a shallow.
There
fucks.
you go. There you go. I think they'll settle before they do another one. No way people are going to give it this kind of attention.
They need to settle something because this is going on for too long.
Yes.
Like just leave each other alone.
Exactly.
Some of those audio tapes.
They're good.
Some of those back and forth.
This is must see TV.
I mean,
wait, did you see the last guy they had? Like it might have been like last week.
The TMZ guy.
Yeah, he was like
TMZ guy was the best. Where he was.
He was like stuttering. That guy.
Not that guy.
That guy.
That was her expert witness.
Wow.
That was her expert psych witness who was up there looking like he was chewing his face off.
Yeah.
From either like some MDMA or some blow that he got from Heard. But the TMZ guy, where Amber Heard's lawyer says, so this is your 15 minutes of fame? And he says, couldn't I say the same for you for taking Amber Heard on as a client? The reaction in the courtroom, somebody sitting right behind the lawyers like that. And then like Depp and their lawyers are like start like laughing. And there's like two people in the courtroom that are like elbowing each other like,
it's
holy
amazing.
shit. It is amazing.
I've watched it like
It
20
is
times because it's
amazing.
all over social media.
Did
that
y'all
clip.
see Jason Momoa's like parody testimony?
No.
I don't know if that was real or not. I don't think it was
Well,
real.
I saw
but it was
Momoa's name
hilarious.
came up in the trial, right?
Just because he did a parody, or is
Well,
he
no, I
somehow
think
involved?
Depp,
It was like a video
criticized his-
testimony, but like it was so funny, and like they like showed clips of like Johnny Depp like laughing. I'm not sure if it was real or
Oh,
not.
that's
It
what it
looked
was.
real.
No, that's what
Okay.
it was because they were saying that like Depp had laughed at his, like he wasn't laughing at his career. You know what I mean? Like it was like the headline of.
So he's on her side because of Aquaman.
I guess. Yeah, I guess.
I
so.
guess.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah. It's
Weird.
crazy.
It's weird.
And it was like the lawyer asked like, "Have you ever seen Amber Heard get like I don't know if it was like volatile or hostile on set or whatever?" And he was like, "No," and he was like, "Well," and then like made like a joke out of it and like kind of said yeah, and it was so funny. Jason Momoa is a comedian.
I mean, if you were a celebrity and they asked you, like, you're up, like, wouldn't you be like,
Shit.
I don't want to do this? Like,
Can we
right?
zoom?
I know, right?
Can I stop at the dispensary first?
I know. Like, I don't want
you
to. I
want
mean, I'm
me?
your friend.
Out of all
but-
of Hollywood,
They wouldn't want me. I'd pull up relief, mat it up,
Yeah.
just like slow. I'd probably have a hoodie on, like I'm not even dressed for the. yeah.
Jacob Stewart, this way.
Coming in.
You know what? We've rethought what we're
Yeah.
gonna do here today.
Yeah, just go home.
Shuffle on the hell out of here if you don't mind. Come out the back so nobody takes a shot out of you. No, I'm with you, man. I don't think that this is like Elon Musk and James Franco even caught a. They even
Yeah.
caught some side shots.
Everybody's
here.
been dragged into this damn thing.
Like you're like, whoa.
Hold up.
Got a video on the elevator.
No, that was so weird. I thought that was weird.
They have everything.
They
Always
really
on
do.
camera.
Yeah, always. Don't y'all
Yeah.
look around when y'all get in an elevator? Do y'all
Oh,
look
absolutely.
to
Yeah,
see?
every time.
But when there's not a camera, do you look
When
harder?
is
There
and
still
you're
is a
like-
camera.
Absolutely.
When there's not one,
No,
that's
I
when you
was in
should
an
be
elevator
worried.
the other day, and I swear I looked so hard, and there was not a
Katie,
camera.
They were watching you. I
Maybe.
promise you.
There's just an angle of you like.
It is. That's what I always think about.
looking
Somebody
around.
looking at me. I'm like,
Look at this chick crawling around looking for a camera.
what's she about
Turn
to do?
around, dumbass.
What is she about to
Yeah,
do?
right, jeez. Daily, we're brought to you by Men's Total Health. Go and stop and see our friends down in New Orleans. Remember, we tell you they can help you out with your hormone treatment if you're suffering from sleep deprivation, if you're losing energy, if your sex drive is going down, you can't keep your muscle mass on. You need to go see our friends over at Men's Total Health. They're located on Vets down in New Orleans. menstotalhealth.net online is where you can find them. Mike Roach and the crew. Go see them down in New Orleans. Fast, friendly, very comfortable setting over there. It's an uncomfortable conversation, but they make it very comfortable. Roach has got great experience in doing this. He came over from Houston, been doing it over there for the last 10 years. Now wanted to come back home from New Orleans. He and his wife, and now settled back into South Louisiana at Men's Total Health. Online at menstotalhealth.net. Go stop in and see him. Tell him you heard it here on the Jordy Culotta Show. We come back. We're eating compliments of Iverstein's, as I believe we got hot dogs on the menu.
I forgot about that. It
this
is hot dog
Friday.
day. I'm
Little
so
hot dog and
excited.
crawfish. Hot dogs and crawfish.
love
We're
a
getting
hot
you set up
dog.
for your Memorial Day weekend here next on the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet.
I totally forgot.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you daily by Morales Roll-Offs. Morales Roll-Offs provides dumpster rentals for residential and commercial needs in Baton Rouge and surrounding areas. Morales has roll-off dumpsters ranging from 10 yards to 40 yards to accommodate all of your disposal needs. Search online, moralesrolloffs.com.
Do you have questions about your finances? Are you looking for recommendations from a skilled financial advisor? Get in touch with our friend Daniel Newman over at Edward Jones. You can find him easily by logging online and shooting him an email at daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. That is daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. Whether it is help with your 401k or just fiscal advice heading into the new season, get in touch with Daniel today. Best way to do it? Email him, daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. He's our experienced financial advisor. Let him be yours, daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. True Blue Water, true hydration at its finest. Right now, you're only a few minutes away from getting your 5-gallon water delivered to you, just like we are over here at the UDL. All you got to do is log on to truebluewater.com. That's TRU bluewater.com. The website's fantastic over at truebluewater.com. You can get your service and find out how quick it is. You can schedule a delivery, even hop on the billing system right there at truebluewater.com. TRU bluewater.com.
Looking to book a dumpster but no idea how? We've made it quick and easy for you. Check out our website at moralesrolloffs.com. Let Morales Roll-Offs know your desired delivery date and finally, provide your contact details. To make payment, look out for an email invoice with all your booking details. On delivery day, our driver will notify you through text and email that your dumpster is ready and on the way. Now you know how easy and convenient it is. Call Morales Roll-Offs at 225-427-0000 for your dumpster.
All right, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Memorial Day celebration here.
What?
We're doing it with our crew, the cooking couple, at You Bet Your Ass It's Good, all over social media, at FM_food. Josh from Iverstein's is back here.
Yes.
The meat master.
The meat master, and I brought you wieners today.
Yes, that's right.
Fancy wieners.
He shows up with wieners here on this Friday. Makes the crew happy. Lance and the crew.
Yeah.
That's right.
What's up?
How we feeling, big fella? I'm going chip on hot dog with the bite.
So look,
but which half?
Wait, they're different.
They are different.
I'm giving it to you two simple ways.
Let me hold this.
I won't lie. Part of me wanted to go get some super basic chili.
Oh my
Because
god.
But so the dog, first off, is sort of the star, right? Obviously.
Wiener.
The wiener is the star.
These are cheddar.
These are cheddar dogs.
Wow.
God.
Yeah. So
they're moving. Inventory's low.
oh yeah. This is making it happen.
Was cheddar dogs.
They have a cheddar dog, and so
Not upset about it, okay?
cheddar dog is one of my favorite dogs ever. So one of these dogs, the one with sauerkraut on it.
Yep, that's what I'm on.
Yep. We poached them in Turbo Dog. So our Turbo Dog's sitting on the table right there. Little props to remind me. My favorite beer from the past. When I used to drink a lot of beer. So it's just poached in Turbo Dog, German mustard, and kraut.
Did we get a good picture?
Damn, this is so good.
No, we didn't get a good picture.
So the other hot dog that's not poached in Turbo Dog,
The little wiener? The short wiener?
not that. That one is Turbo Dog.
Let's not
So the
cut it
one-
out like
Another
that.
piece.
Too easy.
The one with the slots cut into
They're
it
not
was just browned
Italian.
in butter.
Yep, the one that
Also not brown.
So much content. here.
Also,
Where's Lloyd?
Too easy.
Where's Lloyd? I'm
It's
dying.
too easy.
I'm actually very upset that he's not here for this particular
Me
episode.
too.
For this another
might be
sausage
dead.
party.
What's happening?
This is sausage party too.
Ugh.
Sausage party.
This is a sausage party.
So the other hot dog is Lance cut it, all super fancy.
Yeah, we just kind of want to buy a
And
little
browned it in
we scored
butter
it so it gets all crispy and delicious.
Browned them in butter. They browned them in butter.
Browned it in
I said,
butter.
I was like, how are they going to incorporate butter in a hot dog?
Oh,
Now I know.
you should have known.
And it's so good.
I grew up with my family cutting the hot dog in half, so it's kind of like flattened, and we fry them in a skillet like crispy.
Yeah.
well, like a fillet cut?
Yeah. Like you would cut it like butterfly.
Like you would butterfly it.
Butterfly your
Butterfly?
hot dog, and you brown it in a skillet.
Anytime you can add more surface area to brown,
Brown
you're
is-
doing it right.
Brown
Yeah.
is better. Brown is flavored.
Yeah.
Wow. Josh, you got big news coming up at Iverstein's.
Yeah.
The move is going down, and this is a huge weekend to save
Save.
over at Iverstein's.
You know-
it starts. Does it start today?
It starts Saturday.
Starts tomorrow. That's right.
One day.
Tomorrow's the day.
I've been in journalism one day last week. Right, came in here. I consider y'all journalism.
Absolutely.
And I already have to make a retraction. So it is 20% off all of the frozen items.
You screwed
I
up.
screwed
Not
it up.
everything.
Not
Yeah, right.
everything.
Josh said on the Culotta show it was half off everything in the store.
They did. So there's signs posted everywhere inside the, yeah. So let me make my retraction. I'm sorry.
Good, because I said it.
However, there is something nice too. We are doing 15% off of our prime cuts, USDA prime ribeyes. If you are a ribeye fan,
Whoa.
15% off
Throw
on
me a side.
I
Saturday.
might be there in the morning.
Yeah,
will be.
and those are going to go right away because inventory is going, and
Yeah.
we only have.
As soon as I show up, I'm here for the half off discount that Josh promised on the show yesterday.
yes.
Yeah, right.
Everything in the store.
That's right.
So that's it. Can I talk about these hot dogs?
Please.
real quick? So
Please,
these
so
are
I can eat.
these are like
For God's sakes, I'm trying to inhale this.
This is the best kept secret here in Baton Rouge. I mean, this hot dog is beef and pork, and it is smoked in hickory, just like our smoked sausage, which we had last week, right?
Yep.
So this
Yes.
stuff will go down in a boil. I brought it over. My in-laws, right, like certified Cajun people.
Oh my God.
Flip nuts.
Dip it in
over.
the aioli?
Yeah, like oh my God, they did.
Dip it
yeah,
in the
it was
aioli?
fantastic. So I always think it's one of the best things that we have.
This is the best.
Absolutely.
People, I'm looking for something fun, and I said, I'm not just saying this because you have kids. I'm telling you, use the kids as an excuse to eat these hot dogs.
Absolutely.
You need the dogs.
You need the hot dogs, and they're great with chili, just a regular old bun. Kind of like we're doing. They're fantastic.
We all need wieners.
Feels very, very
Yes.
Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Right?
How about the
Holiday
plate?
weekend. Plate?
Huh. Did that on purpose, of course.
What?
It's a paper plate in honor of Memorial
Oh, okay,
Day.
Okay. I was looking for a
Just
design.
joking. We forgot our plates.
Yeah, we forgot to bring real plates.
What is the what's the best Memorial Day? What's the best holiday weekend, summer holiday weekend menu? Burgers, hot
Ooh,
dogs.
for this
Oh my
thing?
God, I love
Yes,
burgers and
it's
hot
totally,
dogs.
it's totally.
Like-
What can you do on the grill?
outside.
List it.
Wieners and beef. Does it get like any better?
All the
than
beef, burgers, steaks,
Chicken.
chicken if you have to.
I think Memorial Day and Labor Day lend itself really great to burgers, brats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Quick, fun things you can have everyone over.
Quick, fun. Like
4th of July, I like to get down with some ribs,
Right.
and some burnt ends and some
Something
pork
that takes
fat.
a little time. Put a little time
Sit
on
outside.
it.
Lick the fingers.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Burgers, good selection.
Great selection. We have a butcher burger, which
Yep.
is our grass-fed beef with bacon.
And it's good.
Bacon,
by the way.
all the way.
So good.
We've
And
had
then we
it.
have a steak burger, which is self-explanatory, but it is all of our end cuts, because we got to make the steaks look pretty. So there's always kind of little doorstop looking things.
Yeah, you need those.
We recycle every bit over at Iverstein's, but we recycle those and we make a steak burger. So we have two different kinds. My wife, she prefers the butcher burger. I'm indifferent.
I just like burgers.
I just like burgers.
They're really
I think that any way you have a
Steak
burger
burger
is the right
heavy?
way to have a burger.
Ready?
No, and we've had a lot of USDA prime cuts going there.
Really?
New York strip and some ribeyes and stuff. So it's actually kind of got a nice fat content to
So
it.
it's like tenderoni.
Yeah, tender. It's got a nice
That's
fat
what you want,
content.
for sure.
Very simple here, right?
So
Process.
Hey, man,
easy.
that's why we kind of had another day where it was refreshingly simple.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Knocked
Absolutely.
it out, man. Brought
And we
brought
do
2
shit
bags.
like this at home. Like
all the
simple
time.
is-
I'm not gonna lie. Most of the times when I eat hot dogs at the house, I just stick them in a
Good form.
skillet, and I don't even eat a bun. I just eat the hot dog.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Wait, did you
No, no.
Hot dog with some chili, with some mustard, with some. What are we gonna bring next week to make it so easy? To
I don't
make
know, man.
dirty
Burgers?
jokes?
We talked about
I can-
burgers. We talked about all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, we can. It's still going to be the weekend.
Depending on what's happening with
So
Iverstein.
next Friday at this time, are you in the new spot?
We're going to be
Closed
training
for-
and renovating still.
Okay,
So we
that's
will
right.
we will be closed.
Yep.
It's like 3
However, you will be receiving your butcher bundle. So if you are a subscriber,
Even if you're closed.
and first
Oh,
week,
So
nice.
Yeah.
how
you will
long,
the first week are going
how
to
long are
be
you closed? I know you're
Yeah.
battling information.
About-
How long are you getting
2
out?
weeks, huh?
yeah, a little from we're reopening.
Yeah, call it 2. Huh? Yeah,
Let's call it 2 weeks.
a baker's 2 weeks. Yeah.
right.
We reopen on the 16th. So we're closing on the 28th. So 30, 31.
Yeah.
So yeah, just about 2.5 weeks. But if you are, like I said, a member
That's great.
in the first 2 weeks of our delivery subscription, you will be getting your service. So you don't have to go without the meat.
Nice.
I'm about to
Can't
lick.
go
I'm about to
without
lick the
meat.
plate.
You don't want to go without the meat.
Can't go without
No,
the meat.
not at all.
Yeah.
Iverstein's is our stop. It should be yours going
Oh,
into
yeah.
this holiday weekend. Remember, say it again. 20% off all the frozen.
All the frozen,
Frozen.
which, if you're wondering, well, what does that mean? I do have frozen USDA Prime ribeyes. I've got frozen USDA Prime New York strips. I've got choice fillets, if you're a fillet person. I've got sirloins. I've got shoulder roast. I've got regular ground meat. I've got an amazing house-made chorizo, house-made Italian sausage,
Yes.
house-made
That
breakfast
Italian
sausage,
sausage
patties and
is
loose.
just-
We've got loads of fresh sausage, bacon cheddar jalapeno, beer brats. If we're going into Memorial, come and get
Okay.
your beer
Love it.
brat,
Yep.
which
Gotta
is
have
a
a beer brat.
fantastic choice.
Love
If you're
it.
Midwestern in the South.
Midwestern, is everything except chicken. Please do not go and asking for chicken.
Wait, I thought there was chicken in
There
the
is
store.
chicken.
There is,
It's
but
not
I'm not going to give you a
20% off.
discount on it. Yeah.
Why though?
He's a
Because
meat butcher.
it's an expensive
chicken.
bird.
Thank you.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's why.
Wow. He's
Do you ever cook chicken?
Do I cook chicken?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I love chicken.
You do.
Yeah.
you just can't talk about it publicly.
No.
We're confused about the chicken.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said please do not go and asking for 20% off the chicken because I will get in
don't
trouble.
discount.
Oh, there's no discount.
There's no
on the
discount on the
Exactly.
chicken.
Okay.
And if you go in saying that Josh said that there is.
Now
So
I see. Now
I'm
You get
sorry.
busted.
Definitely gonna get
Gotta
an
be
apple.
clear.
I see.
Big trouble.
Yeah.
So now we all know the bit, right? Go into Iverstein's and ask for the discount on chicken because Josh sent you, right? All right, our guy's a natural. He's a thespian. We're going to get him on a podcast here talking about meat
Yeah.
soon. These two are our cooking couple that are here every Friday, taking the food that they get from Iverstein's and serving up the great dishes just like they did again here this week as we just clean the plate. Yes?
Do I have 30 seconds?
Go.
I just want to say I was here for the first time. I ran Katie's cowbell, this Mississippi State thing.
Yes, you did.
A real one. I wanted to admit it because I felt so guilty the last week.
Did you feel dirty?
I
It made
feel
you
like
feel
people
dirty?
around town have been like looking at me like,
There's that
you
big
did
son of a
That's,
traitor.
There's that traitor.
that's the guy that knows about the meat that rings the Mississippi State
He
bell.
did something, yeah. And it is
Big bell ringer with the bad information on discounts. That son of a bitch.
On discounted meat.
I knew there was a reason. And it is very annoying.
Yes.
It is very annoying. Just
Yes.
I love that you've still been thinking about
He's
that.
got it. Wait, he's your reminder. He's sitting right here next
Take
to
a
it.
walk on the wild
It's
side.
looking
Josh.
at
Do
him.
it again.
Staring him in the face.
Do it again. Take a walk on the wild side. Have a great weekend. Follow him on Instagram at You Bet Your Ass It's Good. We'll see you on Monday.